Oh, here we are again now, and it's like no time has passed. Gazing out upon the sunset as it sinks into the night. Many times it seemed as though a given day might be our last. Face to face with certain death, it's somehow coming out alright. I don't think that we have any cause to lament, but there's quite a lot of thrilling intent, thrilling intent, thrilling intent, thrilling intent.
Mercy, you know this area very well, and you sort of duck off to the side for just a moment, taking the most efficient path. You find what is functionally a ranger's station. Like, this is a stopover location for people who want to maintain this section of land. Functionally, Mercy, you live in a part of the country that's actually very well preserved, very wild, which it's very frustrating right now because there's no solid roads to go on, but it's moments like these that you actually appreciate the forethought that people who explore this area put in. You all duck to the side, and you manage to refuel and restock your horses. They're all tiring at various levels.
The price on horse gas these days.
To help our horses, I don't know if this would do anything. A big part of a forge is having basically a cooling station that's full of water. Can I summon that as a trough for the horses to get rehydrated?
That's fucking brilliant. Yeah. So there's basically like what are the I'm losing the word. What is the like one of the push wells that like draws water up through mechanical motion? There's one of those. But there's like buckets, but there's no trough. So you slam that shit down in front of the horses.
I get the horses some feed, and like each of them have their own buckets. I think we should also try and move around the gear such that the horse that Harlock and Faria is taking, like that, so that one has like the lightest load.
Yeah.
Okay, so while the horses are getting rehydrated and whatnot, I do think it's wise if Harlock and Faria were to go on that hate-filled horse, because it is shockingly fast.
Yeah, it goes at the speed of rage. I think that's a great idea.
Even after all the trash I just talked to it?
You're pretty sure you hear growling from the horse, but no, that's just the sound of teeth grinding at a rate that sounds like growling, which is way worse.
Now that I think about it, are you guys like familiar enough with horses to withstand that rage?
Yes, it's just an animal, like a person.
Okay, well. Gregor, you've been riding the hate horse for a little bit now. What do you think? Do you think this is a good idea?
If you can channel its rage into something positive, like it going fast, then you'll be good.
My lack of emotions will be an acceptable heat sink for all of its hatred.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah, this might work. Actually, this might work better than I thought. Okay, let's move some gear around because I want the hate horse to basically be entirely free of unneeded weight.
You set up the alchemy wagon, which is the two smartest people in the country, riding back on a horse that knows only hatred. Harlock, you hold the reins while Faria holds a fishing line dangling. Marcus is dead in front of this horse. Holy shit, that's incredible.
Hey man, if it works.
It works.
This might be our greatest invention.
So,
I don't know. We might still make something better by the time this plan is through.
I think we can all agree that when we have to explain how we saved Tannhauser, we leave, like, this part out and a few other things, like,
No. Are you kidding me? This gets its own chapter.
I think it would ground us.
It's embarrassing. People have died.
As you're saying this, in the background, Harlock and Faria are just circling you as this horse tries to annihilate Marcus's father.
I love to think that, like, its teeth are gnashing so much, it just sounds like a wood chipper.
Yeah!
Oh my god.
Just like, wow, yeah, that sounds mechanized weirdly.
Yeah, you would know.
Remember, I paid you to keep my husband safe.
Yeah, but at that rate.
You ride down into a narrow gully, sort of following the contour of a trail that appears to be a well-worn river. Water seems to guide this path, and you carry it downhill. It's steep. You can't really stop yourself from driving your horses forwards until you reach the very bottom, an area where that loose gravel falls away, and you touch down on grass again. But as you do, you realize your steeds, everything are caught in the bushes immediately next to a large contingent of enemies. Stealth this time likely will not be an option. Harlock, you have a chance to act. What's the plan?
I think to make up for this bad situation, I should burn my alchemical duplicate.
Ooh, okay. You're gonna...
I'll use my alchemical duplicate to make another Harlock that will attack them.
Wait, what?
So, once per session, Harlock can make a very, very temporary, gooey duplicate of herself out of not copyrighted flubber. It will only last a few moments, but it lets her, in the moment, turn one action into two. So, you're using your once per session here, that'll let you do two things. And she's gonna go in and pick a fight with these things?
Yep, and the other me, the real me, is going to run.
So, duplicate Harlock splunches free from your alchemy sack, landing on the ground and crawling her way upwards. She forms into an entirely realized and fully formed Harlock, and then does traditional Harlock things like rush straight at the enemy with no plan and picks a fight with her gigantic meat crusher claw.
Classic me.
She's not properly, her model's not properly rigged, and she's glitching all over the place.
Inian, give me haste. I've got an idea.
Yeah, sure. She slaps her hands together and then slaps you on the back.
Right, Gregor feels the surge of speedy magic go through him, and as he's done before with the Outriders, jumps off the horse like a crazy person. Gregor comes down on this creature and strikes it right in the weak point that he could see with the help of his bread brain, and it fades into nothingness. Just like
you
that.
slice through it, and you feel a twinge, a spark of electricity go through your body, but you're still up. It's fine. Everything is fine. This thing touches the ground and ceases movement.
With the power of haste, Gregor then rushes over to this one, but does not use his bread brain. He slices, and just like before, it's cut in twain and falls to the ground.
Slice! It impacts the ground. Woo! This new shape of angel reaches down for your duplicate as it bobs and weaves, attempting a Dempsey roll, and it holds out a hand, and almost out of thin air, light begins to coalesce around this Harlock, and it rapidly binds inwards. And in this moment, instead of the expected effect, which was this almost razor-sharp disc of light dividing Harlock in two in a gory mass, instead, your goopy body is flung in either direction, dispersing the one goopy Harlock into two.
Oh my god,
as she
yes.
flies over, and Gregor, the Harlock goo splatters across your back and partially forms, arching up over it.
Are they two half-sized Harlocks?
Yes, they're two half-sized Harlocks.
God, I wish that were me.
You're covered in Harlock goo. Okay, immediately next to you, you realize this is one of the ASMR that have been reclaimed. He looks at you and almost shaking slightly. Like, this is a trained soldier, but really doesn't want to be killing people. Like, he's been fighting angels this entire time, and it's fucked he's working along with them. So in a weird lapse of judgment, he lets his weapon fall from his hand, and instead just jumps on you. And you're carried to the ground, and you're pinned under Harlock goo and soldier now.
So I think, like, more or less the moment that it becomes apparent that this is going to be something that we need to, like, jump into the thick of. And I think that Marcus has, like, an inkling that Harlock and Faria are going to try and, like, kind of bolt for it.
Yeah.
So the instant that becomes clear, Marcus starts making a shadow construct. It's essentially a long-ass shadow jousting lance. But he makes it specifically so that think of it as like a double-hulled boat. So there is an outer shell to it, and then inside a slightly smaller and denser, like, copy of the same thing, more or less. And I think, if possible, he's going to tip that with, like, a stationary version of his Underdark Blast.
Ooh, okay. That will be a success. Tell me which one you're aiming this at primarily.
I think I might be going straight for the big tuna in the middle.
Oh, you're going for the big tuna?
Yeah. Like, I think
see.
after I see that it's trying to attack the homunculus, I'm going to try and use that, like, moment.
You use that momentary opportunity and boom! You fire your Underdark Blast at the creature, and it
Wait, no. Sorry, I should have been clear. I'm using this as a jousting lance. The Underdark Blast on the tip is stationary and spinning to act like a drill.
You're riding it, and I thought you were firing it like a gun lance. No, you're doing this manually.
You're fucking doing this. Also, it's very important that this is over here.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, that's crucial to the fiction. That's up there. Okay, so
okay, here.
Yeah.
We're gonna go in there. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Here we go, bud.
You ride forwards.
Yeah.
Dramatically on. Hold on. Did you trade horses?
It's the smartest horse. So your horse is like, I don't think this is logical.
Well, wait, I thought I still had the most beautiful horse.
You consider this. You ponder this deeply. Did we trade horses? Hold on. Was it a full horse rotation? Is this the smartest horse or the most beautiful horse? You look down at your horse, and regardless, the horse has one look in its eyes. Fear. You ride another pace forward, and you leap in the air, and your horse, with the full weight of its body, drives the Underdark Blast into the angel that's towering above you. As you dig it in, the Underdark Blast begins to spread throughout its form, immediately burning its way into angelic flesh.
I should mention that the reason that I gave my lance an outer shell to it is so that it could break once and still be capable of inflicting another wound.
As you drive the Underdark Blast into its body, it retracts, sort of places its hands together, and in the gap between them, you feel some sort of twisted angelic magic beginning to form. You get the feeling it's gonna hit you with a blast of its own. Tell me what you do to prevent that.
So, in the last second, I try and just kind of shift the lance itself to the center so that it's more or less right out in front of me. And the back of this is flared to some extent, not to the extent that it's like a shield, but to the extent that it would give me some small amount of cover. I'm basically just trying to ride and, like, carry the lance and, like, myself and Kier and the horse straight into this thing's attack, and then slightly redirecting when because I know that the outer shell of my lance is going to break. So when that happens, I'm trying to slightly redirect up and to the left so that I go past the thing's attack and continue into its, like, chest with all of our momentum.
That's fucking awesome. You managed to carry the full body weight of you, Kier, and your horse through the eye of the storm as you feel space boil next to your head as a line is cut into the woodland behind you. You manage to drive your horse forward and you slam down on the other side.
Hot damn!
That was the coolest thing you've ever done. Mercy.
Yeah, Mercy sees an opportunity because she's like, we gotta get rid of the leader before it does anything major. She is gonna
Yeah, that was my
use
thought too.
significant tungsten for as long as possible to get some speed, and then she's just gonna run off. She ain't gonna do anything fancy because she knows she's not as potent anymore. She is going to just sprint up and then go straight for that wound that was just created because we learned the double tap from Gregor. Yeah, no, this thing's already got this massive just gash in the side of it from that impact. She slams this massive wedge axe, which is designed to, well, divide things. And the only thing that's slowing that down is that pesky spine.
Jesus.
Oh boy, you bury the wedge axe in this angel, and you, Harlock, you watch from the side. You get a sidelong view of this situation as you ride alongside it, and you see Mercy, like a titan, ride in against this thing, and the form is beautiful. Her back arcs backwards, and you can almost see the beautiful geometry, the horrible spiral of contracting muscles that drives this axe forward and into this creature's weak belly flesh. And it is about then that you manage to ride yourself free of the scene.
Faria, your wife is hot.
Oh my god. Enian's gonna ride her horse around over in Gregor's direction as the enemy leader. He's got 2 moves up his sleeve, and I think after this fuck shit, he looks at the situation, sees almost immediately how the battle is turning, and he's going to use one of his moves. Disappear like a coward. He raises both of his hands, and you start to see those rings of light appear again, and they sweep downwards, and where they touch, his body vanishes, and before too long, he vanishes into thin air.